Welcome back to the channel. I'm Tangent. This is Art versus Science. We're doing 30 AI businesses in 30 days. You can see that the AI avatar of myself for the thumbnail has become slightly younger and less cracked out, and maybe a tiny bit too much Botox. But that's all. It's all good. It's all good. So I'm going to, at the moment, I don't have an AI that does the shorts active. So what I'm going to be doing is trying to make the start of this video hyper efficient and then switch into the long form and warn people that that's where you need to sign off if you want the efficiency. So so that's that's going to be the cover. Let's go. What are we going to talk about? Okay, so day one, we did the print on demand, technically successful, not fully automated yet. That's fine. We will revisit that later in the series. And then day two, we started doing, and by the way, this is a continuation of day two. We started doing a video on, started doing a business on eServices. And from doing the research between the last video and this video, going deeper on the research, I realized that under current tech, I was effectively going to end up basically being like a human middleman, a human copy and paste agent, basically taking tasks from people on the internet and copying them and pasting them into AIs and then getting the result and copying and pasting them back. And I decided that's not really what we want. And also it's a little bit, I needed more time to think about the ethical side of it, because it's like, even if you tell people, hey, I'm using AI to help complete these tasks, do they really understand that you're literally just copying and pasting? And then further, if you explain that to them, then they're not going to use your service because they're just going to go and paste or like type the prompt. And then ultimately you're just becoming a prompt engineer, right? The service that you're really offering is prompt engineering, not fulfilling the e-service. So I'm going to time out away from that for a second, even though we will talk about it a little bit. I'll show you what, and in fact, I'll put that in the later part of the video, right? So later in the video, I'll show you some of the stuff that we looked at. But for this part of the video, we're going to just go, like, remember, we're doing super efficiency. So we got, so the game plan from here, because the feedback that I'm getting on the channel is that they love the concept, they love the idea, they love the information, they love the alpha. However, people want it more efficiently. So that, like, lots of people don't want to have to watch an hour-long video to get the alpha out of it. And now that I don't have that, now that CapCut has cut me out until the end of the month, I'm thinking what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the channel, seeing as we decided that can actually be one of the business ideas, is growing the channel and getting like sponsors or monetizing it with ads or something like that. I don't know. I really don't like ads, but there's other ways of monetizing it that doesn't just smash people with ads. And so yeah, I guess a good spot to say that because the channel is so young, I would take sponsorship from people that have AI tools and just like no money involved, just literally the sponsorship being having unlimited access to the AI. And that would be very helpful if there are tools. So if anyone is watching this who either has access to, like, is in control of the access to, or knows someone who does, that wants to help an upcoming channel that's going to bring the maximum alpha, I think it's going to be literally one of the most valuable channels in the entire space to help that get off the ground and help make it better. Any extended access for free to these sorts of tools, particularly if it's stuff to do with the content production, right? So ultimately, what we're going to be doing is looking for tools that allow us to have an AI producer, in the sense that things that can. So ultimately, let's say, imagine if I had 3 different content lengths. So there's the full length video, raw and uncut, like as if I'm doing a live stream, even when it's not uploaded literally live, where it's just unfiltered, unedited, uncut, literally running through everything. You see my thought process, everything like that. Some people do actually prefer that, seeing every single part of it, listening to it more a bit like a podcast or some background noise. Then a midsection, which we've never done before, which would be AI cutting that content down. So it's still a long form video that's more than 60 seconds, but it's literally just the AI goes and cuts out anything that is not punchy, relevant, maximum AI not AI delivery, alpha delivery. And then the shorts, so that you get the banger quotes, the latest updates on the tools and things like that, right? I think that would be dope. And then the shorts almost act like an advertisement, a bit of a trailer where people are like, yeah, I want to see more. Then there's the people for the ADHD generation that want to get that zone where it's just like the maximum efficiency for those mid-length ones. And then for the people that want to come on the journey with me and get in the weeds, that'll be on this style of video. And so I do care about the channel, and I do care about the audience, right? I'm not trying to waste anyone's time. I'm not trying to so I definitely don't do that stuff that some channels do, where they deliberately drag out the video with just nonsense and zero alpha and then put it at the end just to get more watch hours or anything like that. That's not what we're doing here. So that's it. That's the plan for now. I'll show you the table that we're working with. I'm even talking faster. It's just because I'm hyped. So this is the table. Oh, let me just grab this. So this is this is the table that we're dealing with. This was the print on demand business. This is the eServices one that we're gonna just put on pause for a second, and then we've got the channel. By the way, remember that we kind of already started this channel, the channel improvement idea. Obviously, I've been trying to improve the channel, the audio, the thumbnails. We've already been utilizing AI a lot for this channel. And remember that we've got this. This was GenSpark came out with this channel plan, which is just absolutely phenomenal. So we'll utilize that as well. There wasn't that much in this plan, was more in terms of the content and not really in terms of things like the quality of the audio and this was more focused on sort of search engine optimization and the content production, not so much on the actual quality of the actual individual elements. So I think we can dive a bit deeper on that. We'll get that. And I need to find another tool that can clip. Let's go. And so is that it? Is that it for the efficiency part? Oh, also, the last part that I'll mention that should be listened to by everyone is I've changed these columns up here, up the top of this spreadsheet that has all the different business ideas and how they're going. This used to be up the top here. This used to be some of the actual AI tools that we were using, and in the boxes I was going to write how we use those tools. I've flipped that around so it's more the critical elements, and then in the boxes we'll write what tools. So then we need less columns because it's just so research and planning, creation, other non-AI tools, the automation part, which is pretty critical but and difficult, and then whether or not the idea was successful, right? So just to give you an example, on that print on demand one, we had Gemini and Rabbit were the ones that basically did the research and planning. We did the creation of the images with ChatGPT. The non-AI tools were Redbubble being the shop. By the way, that reminds me, when I say by the way, I'm going off on a bit of a tangent. That's why they call me Tangent. So Redbubble, you upload one image and it puts it on all of their products, whereas Printify, you have to upload, you don't have to upload it each time, but each additional product you want, you have to set it up separately. And I thought, man, they need to either change it over to Redbubble, or maybe I'm not using the software, like this website properly, or we need AI automation, because that is ridiculous that you would have to go and manually add each item when Redbubble's system is so much better. You upload that one image and pound that. So here, I've put another business later on in the series, which we're going to do print on demand again, but with something like Printify, where we will need AI to actually be doing a more more work, and we'll consider that to be a separate business where it's like, so that's the one where it's manual, and then this one, the one will be where it's more auto. And I've added prompt engineering. I noticed that, why is that not centered? So yeah, we've just got a bunch of ideas there, and we are in this episode. If you do stick around, I am going to run the prompt that I created for offering eServices. I am going to put that into GenSpark, our most powerful AI agent that we have access to at the moment. Note that with that agent, I like to do that one and attempt the one shot live in the video while we're actually recording, right? So I don't pre-do it, so that we get to see, we can actually watch how it tackles the task and whether it fails or not. So the automation part, we've written here that GenSpark was not able to one-shot it, but was aware of its own limitations. So, and you look, the automation part's not going to always be GenSpark, but it's, at the moment, that's the one that is the most powerful. So that's it. That's it for the efficient part. If you stay beyond this part at your own risk that it may not be as efficient, then there may or may not be some deep alpha that we're going to be discussing. So let's use these tabs to guide the conversation. First of all, we are going to do the standard check. We're going to go across to lmarena.ai. We're going to go to the leaderboard, or refresh. Video, we'll try and keep the video under an hour today, and we're 11 minutes in. So 30, maybe half an hour of playing around with this stuff is going to be the rest of this video. So yep, click OK. Click on the leaderboard again. Yep, Gemini 2.5 Pro Experimental still in the lead. Gemini now actually have a tool or a new interface or a new area of their offerings called Firebase Studio, where it claims to be a free-to-use AI full-stack developer. So that means full stack just means it does everything that you would use devs for. So front ends, back ends, what do they say? APIs, mobile, and more, right? So full stack AI apps. Agentic cloud-based development environment. Yo, I can't wait to try this. I haven't actually tried it yet, but I cannot wait. Here, I'll put the link in the description where it's got the actual, all this documentation. Let's work out how we're going to actually get to the, so Firebase Studio. So that was the documentation. We want to actually get to the app. I guess it's this one here, firebase.studio. Try firebase.studio. You know what? I just worked out that might not be... oh, yeah, actually, I guess I can pull it off screen. But yeah, so Shopify, we don't need that anymore. Remember, we will use that later in the series. 3 days for that 3-day free trial. We'll close that for now. Grok. Remember that with Grok, you've got this option here where you can either choose deep search or deeper search, and then that toggle can be on or off. So all of the ideas that we do, you really should start with, I think I mentioned this in a previous video, but basically the first thing that you do is you chat with any AI that you enjoy chatting with, probably either Grok or Gemini, to come up with the idea or to have a bit of a discussion. Once you land on what you actually want to do, and this doesn't just apply to businesses, this is everything in AI, you would take that and you would take it to your favorite deep search tool, which, by the way, I actually don't know which one is the best for deep search yet, because everyone's got a deep search now. ChatGPT, I'm pretty sure, has got a deep search. Obviously, Gemini's got deep search. Here in Gemini, you do it from here up the top. This one called Deep Research. Grok has got this toggle in the actual box that gives you deep research or deeper research, so it takes even longer. And yeah, so that's a mode that has become quite popular right across the board of people or the companies that offer these AI tools. Let's actually go and see if DeepSeek offers some kind of, they've got Deep Think. Yeah, so Deep Think. Oh, I actually don't know if that's, because you notice how Grok has actually got Think mode. So Think mode in Grok just means it'll take longer. It'll spend longer thinking about it, and they claim that it's good for solving maths and science problems and that sort of thing. So more reasoning, longer thinking time. DeepSeek, do they explain what this mode actually does? So for DeepSeek, obviously, there's only one here other than web search, so you would just turn that on. Whether it just makes it think longer or whether it makes it research deeper, we don't know. But because that could be called Deep Think because the model is DeepSeek or whatever. So the word deep might not be in terms of the depth of its research. It might just be branding. But anyway, we could ask DeepSeek and say, explain Deep Think R1. See, even I am using AI literally every second of every day, and I still even need to sometimes remember that rather than just guessing and speculating, you can just literally ask the AI either about itself or about another AI. So explain Deep Think R1 mode. While that's thinking, we'll go back over to Gemini. We're going to start. So in here, we're still, because this is still day 2 or whatever, we're going to take this prompt that I came up with, which basically just says, I want to offer eServices where I list everything that can be performed with AI. The offered services must be able to be completed reliably with an AI. That's quite important because you want to be able to deliver on what you offer. And if the AI fails to do it and you don't have that skill set, then you're stuffed. The pricing needs to be optimized because who knows what these services are even, like what the market rates are. So let the AI work that out. And then the fulfillment should preferably be able to be automated, performed, and delivered without human interaction. That's a bit of a wishful thinking. But that's the whole point of this channel, right? Is to get to that level. Research and deliver a detailed and specific plan to achieve this, and then set up as much of it as you can. So that's the prompt. I'll try to remember to put that in the description as well, so that this prompt will be in the description and all the links and that sort of thing. And we're gonna pump that into Gemini, right? Over here, Gemini. We've already got deep research mode turned on. See, this is confusing. Every other AI, those things that are down the bottom are toggle switches. But on this one, the toggling gets done up here. You put it into deep research mode. I got tricked by this on a previous episode, right? And then this thing can't be clicked on and off. To turn it off, you've just got to go and change the mode up the top. But anyway, we smash that in here. The last time I pumped this in, it said, sorry, you've run out of requests for today or whatever. And hopefully between then and now, my allowance has reset. We'll leave that running. We're going to not waste time trying to be efficient, even though we're in the non-efficient part of the video, yo. So with Grok, let's go with Grok and basically punch in the same one. I've already done this with Grok, but we'll just do it again. We'll turn on deeper search and we'll punch that. Oh, I should have asked it also, tell me the best websites to put this on. I've already asked that to another AI. I think it's Upwork and a handful of others. That's part of the difficulty that AI can help with, is to give you the best options for where you're going to actually do it. I may have mentioned this on the last video, but most of the people who are experts in this field all agree that the most critical part of any of this type of business creation, whether it's offering a service, offering a product, trying to sell something, trying to create some kind of anything, is the research that is done up front. And that's the thing that AI absolutely crushes at the moment, and anyone can do it. You just punch it in. So no excuses. The most difficult part of setting up any sort of business at the moment, which is the market research and making sure you're not pointing all your effort in the wrong direction, so effectively you're not wasting your time going off in the wrong direction. That is now fully accessible to any person for any kind of idea that you're doing. So we should be seeing you know that rule that says business failure rates, like 75% of businesses fail within the first year or two, and even the ones that succeed, they've got some kind of J curve where they are in loss for a period of time before they're actually able to break even and start making profit, which is why it's so dangerous, why so many businesses fail in that early stage. With the use of AI and the help of AI, those stats should be getting a lot better, right? Because it's cutting costs, but it's also preventing mistakes. So your business is being set up better right from the start, and a lot of the costs that you normally have to pay for can get done for free by AI. So I think, and there's probably other benefits as well that I'm not even just thinking of the top of my head that's going to improve the success rates of businesses moving forward. So here we go. So Grok 3, by the way, we weren't waiting. We could have rotated back over to DeepSeek. It said that the Deep Think mode is a specialized feature to enhance the model's problem-solving capability for complex tasks. So it's parallel to Grok's Think mode, not like Grok's Deep Research mode. So it looks like maybe this search mode would be more appropriate. Search the web when necessary is probably if you want it. So I wouldn't even use DeepSeek. If they don't have a mode that claims to specifically be good for deep research, there's so many good models out there that do the research for you really well. Gemini, Grok, and does ChatGPT have a research mode? I forget. It doesn't matter. You've got at least two, possibly more, that do a really good job of it. So let's go and see what Gemini said. Oh, again, same error. You've used all your research requests today. All right. I'm not going to make the hand gesture that I wanted to, just in case YouTube has AI recognition of the visual version of profanity. So let's go into here. Grok, I really have appreciated how much I can smash Grok, and unfortunately I can't tell because I have a blue check Twitter account, as you can see down in the corner here. So I actually don't know how much access I'm being given that is beyond a free account that you guys would be using. But remember that one of the rules we made at the start of this thing was I'm allowed to use non-financial resources that are at my access. And even though I paid for it, but it was not paid for as a deliberate attempt to get an advantage in setting up these businesses. It was just something I happen to already have, like my internet connection. So let's just have a look at this. And by the way, I'm going to be breaking rules all over this thing. So strangely, not a single person that has heard about this idea, whether it's online or IRL, has said to me, "You're nuts, this can't be done." Every other entrepreneurial idea I've ever said in the past, people will tell you all the reasons why it can't be done. Oh, that won't work because of this and this. Oh, yeah, I don't know whether you're going to be able to do this. Like, have you thought about this? Or I don't know, dude. Is the general thing and most entrepreneurs will tell you the same thing, that when they tell their family and friends they're going to try and do something, everyone's full of the reasons why it won't work. I go around telling people that I'm going to launch 30 businesses in 30 days, and not a single person said, "You're out of your mind, that's not possible." Or, "Dude, what about weekends? You're going to burn yourself out." None of that. Everyone's like, "Yeah, okay. That sounds cool." Everyone just is approving of it. I don't know why. Maybe just the term AI maybe just shuts people's minds off, and people think it's just this magical thing that you can just do anything with. They're like, "Oh yeah, well, I mean, if you've got AI on your side, then yeah, you just why not do 100 businesses in 30 days?" So I found that quite interesting. I think it's telling of people's attitudes or limited understanding of what AI is actually capable of currently, but also maybe sometimes when you just say things that's so insane, then people are not even approaching it with their practical minds to tell you, "Oh, have you considered this, this, and this?" It's just like so wild that people just I don't know, it just maybe hits a different part of their brain where they just get inspired and they're like, "Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, let's do 30 businesses in 30 days." So I have been genuinely impressed at the positive response that this idea has generated. So we've got key points. It went through all of this. It explored the services. Oh, so okay, yo. I did notice this with Grok is that prompt makes Grok think that what you want to do is actually offer an AI service. So, i.e., to create something that is similar to what you're seeing, to what Grok provides and what i.e., some kind of app or website where people come and put their prompt in and then it gives it back. It didn't realize that what we were originally suggesting is that we're going onto one of these e-service websites like Upwork and offering services and then completing them using AI, hopefully with the knowledge of the user, the buyer. And so it has actually gone through and talked about this as if you're actually providing an AI. So it's talking about leveraging all the AI stuff and how it's going to work. And then they've actually gone and so anyway, we won't spend a lot of time on that because remember that we're half bailing from that idea. What's cool about that is then it made me realize that that could actually be a different idea. So rather than trying to middleman between the person that wants some e-service and the AI doing it, is to actually go a level up in the concept and actually create what it thought I wanted to do and have a service or a website where people can go. But then to do that and set yourself apart from, because that just sounds like you're just creating your own front end for existing AIs, right? Where someone just comes to your website, puts the prompt in, you're handing the prompt over to the, either probably through an API to one of these AIs and then just giving them the answer back. But you could actually create a workflow where the person puts their prompt in, you use an AI to make the prompt better, then hand it over to an actual AI to give the answer, and then have an AI that maybe checks the output to make sure that it actually fulfills the client's needs before handing it back. So you actually are inserting almost like an AI agent layer in between. So you actually are adding value, not just middlemaning something that they could have accessed directly with the AI company. So that's kind of cool. That would be an app idea. By the way, with that Fire Studio, let's get it. With the Fire Studio thing, bruh. If this is really as good as what they claim, and by the way, they have been knocking it out of the park, right? Gemini, obviously they've got the smartest model at the moment. This could be a game changer. And it's literally new. I only found out about this yesterday. Obviously, the people who are in the Telegram, t.me art versus science, all in one word. I posted it in there immediately as I heard about it. So it's worth joining that Telegram if you want things faster than because obviously I'm only making a video maybe once or twice a day. Whereas that Telegram, I can just post in there literally as soon as I find stuff. So, right, go confirm. Oh, I thought it was going to have something that might dox me, but it didn't. It didn't even do it. It just literally went straight in. So we can bring this tab back over here. Insert this over here. Right. So what do you want me to build? It's such an incredible offer that I'm in shock that we're going to need to go and grab our prompts, and we're going to take this eService prompt. So we're kind of versing Fire Studio against GenSpark, keeping in mind that GenSpark is a wideband attempt to do anything digital, whereas Fire Studio is still narrow-ish, right? It's wider than a direct coding AI because it wants to be able to do... Actually, is it wider or... No, it's narrow. It's actually narrower than a coding AI because a coding AI claims to just like code anything, whereas this is specifically to do with the stack that is required for app development. So we would take this prompt here and we can modify it a bit to create the app that let's just tell it to do that app that I just came up with based on the things that I didn't like about the eServices business idea. So, by the way, they say that it's a prototype. So prototype an app with AI. They can do tipping calculator, recipe generator, expense track. So these are apps that already exist, obviously. And then it says new workspace, import repo. Are these? Do you have to select these, or is this just flexing? Import a Git repo or upload your own project. That's cool. Oh man. Imagine. Bro, you can just go and import an open source repo and then tell it what you want different. I'm consuming a lot of content these days in terms of really nailing this stuff. One's about ideas for businesses that can use AI, things to do with the tools, how to prompt better. All of these things, I'm trying to really go deep on all of these aspects. And one of the things that I've noticed that's consistent across all of these, what experts are saying about this currently is that, and by the way, this will change over time. More and more of this will be abstracted away from the user. However, under current tech, the prompting is still absolutely critical. And now with these bigger and bigger context windows, which just means how much you can put into the immediate prompt as opposed to something that might be getting accessed secondarily, like its ability to search the web or some kind of training or retraining that the AI has or a database that it has access to. The context window is literally just for what you're jamming in on that particular interaction with the AI. People are basically getting AIs. So this is the smart way to do it. You get the AI. You think about it like a bit like the stages that you would actually do if you were doing a major project. So if you're building a website, you go and get an AI to create the design brief and the style guide and all of the prompt, all the context, like what the AI's role is, what it's doing, what it's trying to achieve. You hype the AI up. You're like, yo, you got this, bro. You got this. You are the greatest website front-end dev that has ever existed in all of humanity. You have got this, bro. Like, I'm being serious. You actually hype the AI up. It be like that sometimes. And then you give it all of that stuff, and you tell it what to give you. Wait, no, you ask it for all of that. You tell it, you hype it up, and then you tell it to give you everything that you would need. So it creates the design brief for you. and then you go and put that into another AI. I know it sounds ridiculous, but by doing it like that and giving it really so that you build a detailed prompt, like as if you were doing it kind of like draft before. No, actually, draft's a bad example. That's a bad analogy. Because you're not doing a badder version of it up, like you're not doing a draft. You're actually it's more planning, right? It's the planning and research part of it. So what are we doing here? We're going in here and we're putting this prompt in, and then instead of I want to offer, we're saying, please build an app. So I'm breaking that rule that I just said immediately, right? I'm winging the app, the prompt here, just because I just want to see how it works, right? I just want to see how good this thing is. So please build an app that provides or solves eServices that can be performed with AI. The services must be able to be completed reliably with AI through using accessible tools and APIs, etc. We won't talk about pricing at this point. We might just mention that, because you could have different business models like freemium or subscription-based and, free whatever, right? So it doesn't matter. We're building the app first. We can work out how to implement the way to make it profitable later. Then instead of the fulfillment should be able to be, it's the fulfillment must be able to be. Must be able to be automatically performed and delivered without human interaction. Research and deliver a detailed and specific plan to. No, we're not. No, we're not doing that. Actually, I guess it doesn't hurt to tell it to research it first. Research and construct a detailed and specific plan to achieve this before put a comma in here, just in case this AI is, I almost used a bad word. Just in case this AI is hyper specific about grammar before setting up, not as much as you can, the app, before setting up, before coding the app, like as in creating the app. Creating the app. Right, and this, I might actually just take this prompt and save it. Where can I put this? I'll just put it over here for now. That'll do. Whatever, man. Whatever, dude. So that's that. Let's go back over. I'm so hyped. I am so hyped to see how this thing performs. How are we doing for time? 38 minutes. Prototype with AI. While that is working, because remember, this all happens in the cloud, so we can go over to GenSpark. Oh, we need a new thing. We were making images for cat moms. So we want to go new chat. Where's new chat? New chat. Hi there, what can I help with? Boom, same prompt. Please build an app. See, I haven't even said whether it's a mobile app or just an app, right? So, by the way, some people might not know this, but app just is short for application. So literally people who are a bit more old school, it's just software. It just means software. App just means software. People think that like, oh, I've got an app on my phone or whatever. It's like, dude, it's just software, right? It's just code. It's all code, bro. It's all computer. GenSpark Super Agent using my very... Oh, the credits have not reset on that. So we already know that... I just noticed here, this one has access to AI agents OpenAI 01 and 03. So it doesn't have 04, which is the most hardcore new one. It's got Claude 3.7, but it doesn't have Gemini 2.5 Pro experimental. It doesn't have DeepSeek version 3.1. That's not its official name, by the way. So it actually is not, apart from Claude, it's actually not using the most dominant. It doesn't have Grok in there at all. Oh, it does say and more, right? And then for image creation, it's actually using Flux. Oh, it's got DALL-E 3. Is DALL-E up to number four now? I thought it was. But anyway, there is, don't tell anyone. Actually, who cares? There is room here for someone to come and take the crown. I'm shocked that it's been more than 2 days and we haven't had someone come out and say, yo, we've got a new one of these agent things. It's actually even better than GenSpark, because this is actually not impossible to beat. You literally just use the more powerful reasoning models and more powerful image gen and access to all. Oh, video gen, I know nothing about in terms of what the. I know that Adobe Firefly can do free video generation, and so can, and Rabbit has got a video tool, and this one's got video tools. But other than that, so I don't know enough about what is the king of video gen at the moment to know whether these are good or bad. I've actually never heard of these. Kling, Gemini VO. Pixverse. I like that all these AI companies are keeping their models somewhat separate at the moment so that you know what model you can actually pick and choose the exact model that you want to use for these different elements. Make sure you're using the best of everything. So unfortunately, we can't do the face-off between GenSpark and Firebase. We're just going to have to go with... Is this already done? Okay, here's the plan. Take a look below and customize as needed, or if you're ready. Oh, okay. So it hasn't actually done it yet. It's just saying, okay, it's given the style guide. So look, it's doing the thing that I was talking about before, where it's, but this is a very, very, very basic style guide. The ones that these other guys were using is like pages long. Sometimes if prompts are too long, I think it can actually be a problem, but we'll push on. So cover letter. Wait, what? Job descriptions? No, it missed the point. We're not talking about people getting jobs. This has almost done the opposite of what... Remember how last time the prompt was trying to get it to be as if we're offering a job, and it tried to do it as if it was an app. This time we're trying to get it to do it as an app, and now it thinks it's to do with jobs. Anyway, summarize. Nah, I think this has missed the point. So the app is... Bro, I don't even know where to start with this. So just to clarify, the app should be designed for the user to be able to make a digital request and the app just goes and does it. Like, yeah, the app goes and does it. Goes and does just do it. It goes and does it and delivers the result. So notice how, because I'm unsure how badly it is messed up. So rather than me saying, I was about to say no, this, but I don't, maybe it, so I just said, we just want to clarify that this ultimately it's this. Okay, here's the plan. Same plan. You know what? We don't have time for this, even in the long form content. So we're just going to tell it, just build it. Because realistically, we just want to see, whoa. This is the sort of thing I love. I love being able to see what the AI is actually doing. This is dope. So it's coding up. So when it goes red like that, it's deleting code. So it's writing code. It's writing code. It's writing code fast, bro. This thing's a speed demon. Like, slow down. I don't want you to make mistakes. This thing's going hard. So bang, 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 cover letter generator. I still think, and then 8 more files, and then now it's doing error checking. So what have we learned? It codes like a beast. Like, it codes like a speed demon. It's going fast on the coding. Maybe a little bit more effort has to be put in to like really paint the picture, because I'm pretty sure it's created a cover letter generator. Is this job description, king of the world, your resume, already a boss. Boss. I'm already a boss. There's my resume. So this is completely not what I asked for, but it gives you an idea. Oh, it's had an issue. Okay. I'm not going to delay the rest of the content of it just has failed on it's failed on multiple levels. It didn't understand what I first meant, even though I thought it was like reasonably clear. It didn't make adjustments when I tried to actually clarify what it was that it missed the point on. And then the thing that it actually did create, like with simple inputs, is handing out errors over here. Oh, it's to do with the API key. Yeah, I can give it an API key, but isn't this Google? Like, aren't we already in Google? Why do you need? Oh, yeah, to prevent abuse, like prevent people from oversmash. So I'll play around with that in my own time. You can too, by the way, completely free. Just sign up for get your Google account, or sign up for a Google account. Go in, get your Google Gemini API. So, set the Google Gen AI API key or Google API key. Okay, yeah. So you get your API key, smash that in there. That'll hopefully fix the errors. And then obviously we should have, theoretically, if you were trying to get it to prototype something, then you would have spent more time to make sure that it actually understands what it is. But it looks like, look, it coded up something that looks like it's working. And with something simple like this could work on mobile or on web. The main point here is, yes, at some point, it will be a case of just literally speaking to an AI and being like, yo, I want you to, like, I had this cool idea. And you wouldn't even know, like, someone who doesn't even know that there's a difference between, how the different ways that you deliver software or whatever. Someone might just be like, oh, I think it would be really cool if I could order this from my phone and the AI would like literally just go off that and just go and do everything. That world is coming. But for now, you really do get an advantage of one, being aware of these tools. Some people don't know that these tools exist. So so what I'm basically saying is, by watching this channel, by subscribing to this channel, by working together as a team, we're not just in the top 1%, we're in the top like 0.01% or smaller of people who are actually looking at using AI to do cool stuff and add value to benefit themselves, right? So you might create something or might do something that saves your time or that you just enjoy using. It might be something that is just more enjoyment based than actually having some kind of necessarily functional time saving aspect to it. But more importantly, or something that could build a business that makes money or whatever like that. And that's really where we're at. So sure, a day's coming where you won't need to know this stuff. You won't need to know the individual tools. You won't need to play around with stuff. It'll just be literally everything's a one shot. But for now, notice, if this is the pitch that I'll give you. Notice that someone who spent a decade learning how to code and become a software engineer and is really good at it, they can probably currently squeeze more out of what is available in terms of customization, checking code. If the AI is not quite, if something's going wrong, they're going to be better with the error, like doing another level of error correction that the AI can't do and that sort of thing. I know people, I've seen the full spectrum of like full normies to tech savvy normies through to devs, through to elite giga chad devs. And I'm seeing what everyone's doing with AI. And also I put myself somewhere on that spectrum. And the people, as you would expect, the people who are further up that spectrum of knowing about code and how software works and how code works and being able to code and play around with hardware and that sort of stuff are doing crazier stuff. And they're moving faster with the tools that are available. So, i.e., the time that you spend now will not be wasted even as we move into a world where it becomes less required for you to actually know this stuff. You're always going to receive an ongoing benefit. That's my pitch as to why it's worth hearing about this stuff, signing up to the channel, etc. We're on 52 minutes. We're out of here. I'm hyped. You're hyped. Go and play around with some of these tools. All of this stuff is free. The GenSpark agent is free. The Firebase with Gemini is free. Google's Ape, everything, all of these tools are free. You can start playing around with them. And remember the deal. You get your base AI that you enjoy using that is smart and use that to ask it questions to do with how you're going to actually utilize these other tools if you need it. If you haven't been paying attention to the channel where I kind of explain that stuff anyway. So hyped up. Let me just check these tabs, make sure I didn't forget anything. Oh yeah, so here was the image production from, you kind of only get about one image a day at the moment with ChatGPT on the free. And I said, can you just make, this is important. There is a button here, the extra 3 buttons, this view tools. This one here says create image, right? So if you're doing an image, make sure you're clicking that button. It just adds this hypertext in here that says create image, and then you type your thing. So you'll notice here I said create image. Please make the person in this image look slightly younger and not as cracked out. The guy in here looks like an old junkie. Don't make him too young, just slightly younger, but a lot less cracked out. So a little bit younger, a lot less cracked out. And I think it did a reasonable job. It's a lot less cracked out. I don't know if it's just nailed the age, but who cares, right? It's close enough. So we'll keep going through that. That's actually really cool. That's a powerful tool at the moment. You can use that for all sorts of different things to do with businesses. People are doing, you can go to a lot more detail than just saying, hey, I want this image, or hey, I want you to change this image. You can say, I want creative branding for this poster, or I want a design for my business cards, or does anyone even use business cards anymore these days? But you get the idea, right? That you can start to be specific, and then there's prompting hacks that you can use for that as well. one of the prompting hacks I heard recently when you're doing image stuff is if there is a file type that would typically be involved for that type of image processing, so i.e. the extension that sometimes the files have on certain high-end cameras, or the file extension that you would have as your working files when you're doing certain processes within image, if you include those in with just like a dummy file name, like, x154 dot, and then you put the extension of the file that a graphic designer would typically be interacting with while they are doing that task, you will actually, because remember, in its learning data, those files will have been fed in with that extension. So that extension like triggers the AI to be like, it takes it over to that area of its neural network and just says, it starts looking around over there, and then so you're effectively directing it to what part of its extensive knowledge you really want to dial in on. So that's probably a prompting tip that should have been at the start of the video in the part that like everyone's going to watch, but maybe that's the reward that you guys get for watching all the way through. Peace. And obviously, we'll continue the mission to make the channel a lot better. I hope you guys are enjoying the streams so far. It has definitely helped to keep me focused and forces me to keep thinking about these things, and being able to then deliver the concepts and the ideas, even if it's not in the most efficient way possible, helps me to also think through these things in a really powerful and beneficial way for my journey. So I appreciate it. And the last checks, we did that one. We did GenSpark, we did Rabbit. Oh no, we didn't do Rabbit. We don't need to do Rabbit. Then we've got that one. That one we checked it. Boom, done. See yous.